Hello, welcome to Kubernetes Deployment Series Part 23. In this series, we are going to learn how to deploy microservices into Kubernetes using FluxCD. This series is a continuation of the previous series where we'll keep learning how to deploy microservices using basic or the raw manifest files and FluxCD into KinD cluster. So, like the previous chap lesson, let's first create the infrastructure. So for that, we need to, I have already explained these prerequisites, so I'm not going again through this. You can follow the previous video and set up this infrastructure by installing these tools. Okay, so first let's go and create the KinD cluster. So for this, I'll use KinD create cluster with namespace demo cluster. Okay, let me execute this. It will take a few minutes to deploy that. Then uh, then we need to do the bootstrapping. So in bootstrapping, uh, we are mentioning the repository path and the the folder flux folder where we'll set our manifest path for reconciliation. So for that, you can see this is the path we mentioned. So here this demo cluster, it is not just I have taken the name of the cluster here, but we can use any name for this one. Okay, so if we are deploying into dev test.prod environment, we can use that environment name or anything. So it is not specific that we should use the cluster name here. Okay, so once that is done, uh, then we need to do some changes on our manifest files, and we need to add the customization file under this uh, flux folder that it dynamically create we'll once we complete this bootstrapping. We'll go through that one. Okay, so just to memorize, in our previous lesson, if you remember, uh, we are using this manifest file, single manifest, where it kept all, it's keeping all the manifest for all the services, and we have added a customization file here, and that file basically includes what are the artifacts, I mean the artifacts file that required for applying these objects into the cluster. Okay, and here you can see I have mentioned the namespace as dev, and we created the bootstrap. So the bootstrap implicitly create this folder, clusters and demo cluster, under this flux system folder. Okay, and these three files automatically got created, and in this customization I just mentioned the path of this single manifest where our artifact is available. Okay, so the FluxCD, it will monitor on this folder flux system, and it will check the path of the manifest, and if any changes happen to this manifest, it will apply to the cluster. Okay, so but in this lab we'll learn something different. So instead of keeping the manifest file path here, we can include another customization file under the demo cluster. So instead of modifying the existing, that is, I mean the system generated customization, we can keep our own customization file, and we'll just inform the flux to monitor that. Okay, so let's see whether the infrastructure is ready. Yeah, so the cluster is got created. So if you can see, you can just run this command to check whether it got created or not. Okay, no, yeah, we'll just check the cluster is got created or not by checking the whether the node is available. Yeah, the node is got created. Now next, what we have to do, we'll create two namespaces here. Let me just create namespace dev, and also create a namespace with dev1. Okay, we created, we'll use how we are using these namespaces, I'll let you know. And then next step, what we have to do is we have to create a part token that I have already created, and we have to export this as variables. Let me do that from here. I just copied here this three value variable. You can copy to this. Okay, it is not copied. Let me copy it properly. Okay, so we just copied, exported the variables. Now what we have to do is we need to bootstrap it. So once we bootstrap, it will create a folder clusters, demo cluster like this. Uh, if you see the previous lab, in that you can see cluster, demo cluster, under that Flux systems. Okay, so let just create this, just bootstrap it. It will take some time. So once that is done, so what it will do is it will create the new repository. If you see, I have mentioned here Kubernetes 23 deployment. So if this repository is not available, it will create a new one. Then next, what it will do, it will install the Flux components. As I discussed, these are the components it will install under the Flux system namespace. And it will also create some manifest file under this demo cluster to keep checking the repository for any changes. Okay. So once it is complete, we can see it will one clusters folder will get created if we just pull the repository. Okay. Okay, so next, what we have to do? So, as I explained, so in this case, we are using the existing, the system generated customization YAML file to specify the path. So, we'll not do that one. So, we have to add a file under this demo cluster, because if we see in Flux, the path what we mentioned is cluster demo cluster. Okay, so it will reconcile anything that will put under the demo cluster. It will reconcile it. It will check that changes, then it will apply. So we can put our customization file under this, and that customization file basically it will point to the artifact path. Okay, so let's do that. Yeah, it is completed now, and if we see, it got created, and if you see, everything will be available now. If you check the Flux system, right, that components will be available. It got created. If you see, these are the different components got created. Okay, so that is done. Now what we'll do, we'll pull the repository. Let's sync it. I'll just do here, and it is syncing here, and after that we can see a folder here. Still it is syncing. Now you can see cluster, it is available now, and under this demo cluster, this will get created by taking this one, whatever we mentioned here. Okay, and under this it will create a Flux system as a folder, and under that it will create these three manifest files. Okay, now what we'll do, we need to create a folder file here. So that file I have already created. Let me just copy it. This is the file. Okay, and I'll just copy under this folder. Okay, so if you see under cluster demo folder, I have copied this online app YAML. So what this customization basically it does is, it is nothing. It is like it is defining the repository. So our repository is this one. Okay, Kubernetes 23 deployment. So it is a kind Git repository, and it will whatever it is got created in the Flux system. If we see under this, right, this is a repository and Flux system, right? This repository it will point that we have mentioned here. Okay, so it will point to that repository, and the path it will point is a single manifest. You can see this is the path. Okay, whatever in the previous section we have mentioned did, right, same thing, but instead of mentioning it the customization here, we have added a new manifest file here, customization, and that is pointing to our single manifest here. Okay, and the single manifest can has a customization that includes all the manifest files what the Flux need to be keep checking, okay, for any changes. Okay, so yeah, so this is done. We have added this, and the interval is 1 minute. Okay, and also we can mention here this also. Let me make it 1 minute instead of 0 minute. Okay, now what we have to do along with these changes, what we have to do is We have already created the namespaces, I think. Just check. Okay, get namespace. Okay, dev and dev1 two namespaces are created, because if we see in customization here, we have mentioned dev, so it will deploy into the dev environment. Okay, now we need to check in. So once we check in this, the flux will reconcile. Okay, let me just check in this and push into the repository. Let me sync. Once that is done, then we can see whether these pods are created under dev environment or not. Minus dev environment, right? So we'll check, we'll get the pods from the dev namespace. Okay, it is still not reconciled. Now, just to check whether it's reconciled or not, we can see, or we can use this status, right? You can check the status. It shows true, applied, and online order. Flux system is created, but this online order, what is online order? This one, the new file, whatever added, it is in progress. Okay, now check one more time. Now it is reconciliation in progress. Still it is in progress, so it is shows unknown here. Once done, it will become true. Ready is true. Okay, just wait few seconds. Okay, so what here we have seen is like we can add our own customization file under the folder demo cluster. Okay, so this is why, because if we see here, we the path we mentioned demo clusters and demo cluster. So anything we are adding under this, right, like this, it will reconcile it. Okay, let's see again. Yeah, still reconciliation is in progress. Also, we can watch it like this. So it will show the status. You can see it will wait until it finishes. And okay, it shows that Flux system. This one is progress. Okay, let's see the log. Anything you can get here. Or we can see. Okay, here what we can see is source artifact. It shows that source artifact not found. So it is not finding this artifact. Still trying. Okay. So why it is like we need to see single manifest customization. This is correct. And under this we have added. This is correct. Path is fine. Okay, why it is showing this? Okay, it's still it not created. Line order. This is fine, and this is also name is same, correct. This is fine. Okay, let's explicitly try to reconcile what it happens. We'll see. Let us do it whether it's getting reconciled or not. Now it is waiting for, yeah, it's got created. Now see how what is happening. No, it shows again. Yeah, we can see here now it is true. Okay, applied. So not sure why it didn't took that, but I just reconciled explicitly, so now it is applied. You can see here. Now if we display the pods, pod minus n dev environment, you can see the pods are running. Okay, and if you see if it is get changing or not, we can see by make it few. Suppose let me just make it a 3 for the order deployment. The replica I just make it 3 and let me save it. Okay, push it. So we'll see whether it is again reconciling or not. Yeah, just it is syncing to the repository. Okay, let watch it how it shows. Yeah, reconciliation is in progress now. Applied, you can see. Okay, look, it shows flux system. Okay, it's progress applied. Okay, let's see. Let's see the event moment. No, it is still not showing now. Okay, it is now. It is applied. You can see online order recognition progress. Okay, let's wait for a minute. We'll see. File system applied and online is in progress. Let's check again. Yeah, I can see now it is applied. Okay, it shows 3 pods. Okay, so that means we came to know that it's automatically reconciling it and applying the changes. So whatever change we made to this uh, artifacts, that is applied through, as we mentioned, this customization, it will using this manifest file, and here cluster, under cluster, this online app, it's pointing to that path, and this is simply monitored by this flux system. So any changes to this, it is those changes is applied and to the cluster. Okay, so as we just now seen that we modified the replica for the order service, and that is reflected. Okay, so this is one way we can do it. If our manifest files for all the services belongs to a single folder, we can do this way. Suppose we want to segregate, like suppose the services contains their own manifest file separately, then how we can do is, the similar way what we have to do is, under this we have to create a customization again. Okay, and we have to mention these two files, right? And we can mention the namespace where it is going to deploy. Okay, so similarly it is, I have defined for all this same way. Storefront also, these two files and a customization. Similarly for rabbit message queue, these two files, service and stateful set and customization. So I have created for all the services like this, and now we are going to deploy it. So for deploying this, how we can do it? So this we can do is simply by adding another, like how we created online app YAML, right? Similarly we can add uh, mm, another customization file for each of these services. Okay, that I have already created here. If you see under dev, right, I have created. You can keep individual these files, or even as a folder also you can keep. So that will, it will automatically take, because we have mentioned the path under this. Under this we have mentioned the path demo cluster. Okay, so under demo cluster we can keep this. So let us go to the folder here, 23, and under cluster, demo cluster, let me copy here. Okay, so what I did is just I added these folders, and this folder contains the customization file. Okay, so let's see this files we just added. Okay, so this is nothing, it is same as this online. Okay, but it is pointing to the single manifest, but here this order, it will point to the multi manifest and order. Okay, we can see, and this product also, it will point to the multi manifest product. You can see here. Okay, this path it will point, right? So, and here if within the multi manifest, if we see, I have mentioned the dev1 as my namespace to just to identify whether, to check whether the deployment happened or not, or the FluxCD reconcile it or not. Okay, so this is the change we just did. Okay, now what I can do, using this, let me just push this to repository. Okay, let commit it, then reconcile it. So this is again one change we are doing. Okay, and we'll see whether it is reconciling or not. So for this I think, let me just check. We'll see from dev1 environment. So there is no resources available in dev1. Okay, now what we can do, let's watch this. Let me see here. Okay, what is doing online order, but here if we see, we have this online order is the manifest that customization that we have created under this one, right, for this, but we have added another pipe. Okay, you can see here, um plug system, yeah, you can see config order, it is waiting to be reconciled. You can see config order, then order product rabbit message queue storefront. Okay, so under this, these are there, right, it is trying to reconcile. Okay, waiting to be reconciled, it shows. So you can see here, rabbit message queue in progress, storefront is in progress. So let's wait few minutes, then we'll see whether it got created or not. Let me just, sorry, get part minus dev one. Okay, now you can see it got created. I'm just getting from the dev one environment, right? So we'll see the dev environment also, it is there. So dev one, from the online app, it is deploying this dev environment, but all these other customization here for the services order, and you can see config order and all, right, it is deploying into the dev one environment. Okay, just to check, let me again do this. Yeah, order is still waiting, but yeah, after some time it will, the status will be, it will show as running. Okay, now let's do some changes any one of these. For example, rabbit message queue, right, let me do some changes in the multi manifest. Let's go to the product, for example, and deployment, I'll make it 5 to see whether it got reflected or not. Okay, now save it. Let me just push into the repository. Okay, so dev one, still it is. Okay, you can see now, the it shows from the dev one namespace, and now it created the product. There are how many, 5, right? So 5 names, so it automatically synced that and created those pods here. Okay, so it, I mean, here we can see, like, you can keep all these folder. If you want to keep the manifest of each of the services separately, then you can use multi manifest like this. This way we can segregate it, and you have to create multiple manifest file under the clusters, FluxCD clusters uh, folder. Okay, even if you want to, suppose you want to make it like multiple environments itself, like is, for example, uh, here, instead of like, if you want to put it in a multiple environment like dev environment, test environment, prod environment, and you can put all these things under those as well. And here we can put those things together. Okay, so these are by mistake got copied. Okay, and we don't want all these things, only from dev environment we want. And here these are, we'll delete everything, let it be like this and this. Okay, so this is online. we'll just directly use the file name here, and here dev, under this we have this. Okay, so if we go now, we can see this is our folder. Okay, now in order to do that, it should also work. Okay, so in order to test it, let me change it to 3. The product, I'll make it for example 2 only for dev 1 environment. Okay, and let with this let push everything. So it is syncing to the repository. After that, we'll see how it will reconcile that. Yeah, I think it is done. Yeah, it's done. Now what we'll do, let watch it, what it's doing. Let watch this. So we can see it is trying to do this order, store order online. Okay, product. You can see it's trying to reconcile again, because what we did changes to the prod, right? So it's trying to do that. And let uh, find that pods in the dev1 environment. Okay, you can see here it is already created. There are 2. Earlier it was 5, right? Now we changed it to 2. Here this we changed to 2, so that's why it is showing now 2 pod for product environment. Okay, so what we observed here is, so under this clusters, demo cluster, we have added a dev environment to deploy into the dev namespace. Similarly, if you want to use for test or fraud, right, that you can add here. But the thing is, we need to do some changes here. Here we are using the namespace dev1 itself, right? So we need the namespace different for the other environments. Like test, it should be test namespace, and for prod it should be prod namespace. So in order to do that, we need to use Kustomize. Okay, so for that, okay, in the next lab we'll learn how we can deploy this multi-manifest, whatever this, right, into different environments like test and prod. Okay, using FluxCD. So later again we'll use how we can do using Helm chart. Okay, so for today, um, that's all for today, and we'll keep continuing learning some more concept on FluxCD. So yeah, if you, it is useful for you, just like this, share it and subscribe the channel. And at the end, if you are following, you can also do delete your cluster, like here using this, not copied. Okay, it will delete the cluster. So thank you so much for viewing the video and the uh, Kubernetes deployment series. See you then. Bye bye.